Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year. We all love Christmas. Although there is still a whole month left until it arrives, let's dive into this festive atmosphere today. Be sure to watch this episode with your whole family and forget about any logic while watching this video. It seems like a magical time when real miracles happen, but if you look closer, magic often comes with a touch of strangeness. Besides Santa, Christmas stories feature other characters, as well as plenty of funny moments that are sure to make you smile. You are on the Top Facts channel, and today we will look at mystical and funny Christmas surprises from all over the world, as well as legendary spooky tales. Grab some treats, pour yourself a cup of tea, and immerse yourself in the Christmas spirit with us. Before embarking on his Christmas voyage, Santa Claus trains. When a lot of snow falls overnight, he goes out on his sleigh in the morning so his reindeer, Rudolph, can run across the magical white plain. Yes, making every child in the world happy in just one night is no small feat. And if Santa doesn't have any doubles, he has to prepare thoroughly for the biggest show of the year. I think adults also enjoy videos where you can see the real Santa Claus riding an actual sleigh pulled by a live reindeer. The surrounding nature also looks stunning. It's breathtakingly beautiful. As we all know, reindeer don't fly. But defying the laws of gravity and common sense, when it comes to Santa Claus's reindeer, everyone wants to believe that his sleigh flies so high between cities that it blocks the moon. Agree, it's a convenient way to travel without being noticed on the road. This video features several sightings of Santa's sleigh in the Christmas sky over Ireland, including some observations from airplane windows. At the end of the story, we see a reindeer standing on a rooftop waiting for Santa to finish placing gifts under the tree. Are you also eagerly awaiting Christmas when the incredible becomes obvious? We have another amazing sighting of Santa Claus's sleigh, where this time he is visible against the bright moon. This spectacle was also recorded on Christmas Eve in Ireland. There are two videos captured on the same night by different people. In the first clip, a mysterious object can be seen flying past the moon at high speed, leaving a substantial trail behind it. You might say it could be a spaceship, but the strange coincidence is that the sighting was recorded on Christmas Eve, and everyone knows this is the very time when Santa takes to the skies on his sleigh. If this proof isn't enough, take a look at the same event from another angle. The footage was taken by someone from an airplane window. The moon was clearly visible, and suddenly, Santa on his sleigh with a huge bag of sweets zoomed by. Are you still doubting that Santa exists? I'm not. I'm just amazed by the trail his sleigh leaves. It's probably powered by a jet engine. On Christmas night, many inexplicable things happen. For instance, what do you think of this bright celestial fire in the night sky? It seems as if a star is approaching us. A witness noticed the twinkling in the darkness, saw it growing larger and brighter, and began filming the phenomenon. He claimed that eventually the star transformed into Santa Claus's cavalcade flying through the air. Whatever it may have been, this phenomenon could very well have been something supernatural. After all, who is Santa if not a star? And you can't argue with that. Santa was once again the superstar of Christmas, this time, quite literally. This video might be one of the best pieces of evidence proving Santa's existence. Two boys were having fun at a Christmas party by the lake when they noticed something incredibly bright in the sky. Soon they realized it was Santa's sleigh, leaving a special bright trail in the night sky. It looked like the tail of stardust. The air was filled with a magical sprinkling of twinkling lights. What do you think? Could this have been the trail of Santa's magical fuel? Soon the sleigh completely disappeared from the sky, but it's great that the kids captured it on camera to share with the whole world. Not only children but also adults wish to believe in miracles on Christmas night and dream of witnessing one. The best way to do so is to create miracles yourself. First, let's look at the most fantastic footage. Probably this is how we imagine Santa Claus's 8 reindeer energetically flying through the sky. What a scene, worthy of the best fairy tale. But there are also absolutely real shots. Take a look. Against the blue twilight, Santa is riding through the city, and everyone is joyfully greeting him. Surely such a video cannot be faked, and it becomes entirely clear that we are seeing a real person dressed as Santa Claus riding an electric sleigh with bright neon lights. If someone starts a debate with you about whether Santa Claus really exists, show them this convincing story. A practical family decided to install a camera to find out whether Santa Claus truly arrives on his sleigh with reindeer, and they managed to capture it on video. On Christmas Eve in the year 2014, Santa and his reindeer arrived in a residential area of the city. Santa quickly placed gifts under the trees in every home, and then we see him flying away on his sleigh. A wonderful piece of evidence, isn't it? It's also interesting to look at the faces of the children who were shown this video in the morning. We have already discussed the bright appearances of Santa Claus's sleigh on Christmas night, but most of the nighttime footage wasn't super clear. However, we have another video witness account that was filmed in broad daylight. There is no doubt that it is absolutely real. You can easily make out the familiar silhouette of a reindeer team and a sleigh behind them with a huge bag of gifts. But why did Santa appear during the day? Perhaps the city of New York is so huge that it's impossible to handle everything in one night alone, and Santa cannot leave even one child without a gift on this holiday. Most likely, this is why Santa had to work overtime. After all, he cannot delegate this mission to an ordinary delivery service. On Christmas Eve, a father of a family looked out the window and saw Santa Claus wandering with a bag full of gifts. He told the children about it, and they all decided to take a peek outside. At first, it seemed Santa visited a family across the street, so they went back indoors. But a few minutes later, they noticed Santa again, standing around the corner of their house. Then the father called the children inside, and there, under the Christmas tree, they found a pile of gifts. It seems Santa somehow managed to deliver the gifts and quickly rushed to the next children. The kids were intrigued. They managed to observe some of Santa's mysterious actions on this magical night. Have you ever seen him? According to legend, Santa arrives on his magical reindeer, parks on the roof, and slides down the chimney. That's how he gets directly into the living room, where he leaves gifts. It's no easy mission. Squeezing through a narrow chimney with a full sack of gifts, not getting dirty with soot, and then filling all the Christmas stockings hanging by the fireplace. In this video, we see a full reenactment following all the rules. But this time, Santa Claus didn't come alone. After a while, he decides to open the front door, and then we see his assistant, the red-nosed reindeer named Rudolph, walking in. It's incredible how all this was captured on camera. Rudolph probably got tired of waiting on the roof and came inside to warm up. Since many homes now have surveillance cameras, miracles can be recorded on video. Right now, we'll witness Santa Claus's secret visit, and we have no reason to believe this is fake. During Christmas Eve, Santa Claus appears in an archway. He's standing on the left side of the wall. And look, Rudolph is there too. If you look closely, you'll see him. What happens next looks incredible. Santa walks toward the door. Somehow, he knows how to enter the house without a key. Thanks to the camera in the room, we can see what Santa Claus does inside. First, he enjoys the traditional treat, drinks a glass of milk, and eats cookies placed near the Christmas tree. Then he leaves gifts under the tree. It's wonderful that the family could show their children the next morning that Santa Claus truly exists and that miracles happen on this magical night. The essence of Santa's movements is to go from house to house delivering gifts. But what should he do if modern houses don't have chimneys, making it impossible to enter through the traditional route? Santa has upgraded and now teleports from house to house with maximum ease and convenience. For someone of Santa's age, this is much more comfortable. Look at how it happens. Santa appears next to the Christmas tree. It seems like he just jumped from one place and landed in another. The wizard accomplished his mission by placing the gifts, but at the very last moment before leaving, he suddenly took a small elf from the tree and put it in his pocket. Who knows, maybe he decided to take a helper with him. Or perhaps the elf asked to come along. Bored of sitting among the needles, a career opportunity arose. It turns out this family also accidentally gifted Santa a present. This video from the year 2016 was recorded by surveillance cameras in a children's hospital in the American city of Atlanta. Santa Claus enters the hospital, sanitizes his hands, and quietly sits down to have a snack. It seems he is all alone in the lobby on Christmas night, and he must find all the Christmas trees in the building to leave gifts there. Approximately 2 hours later, he exits. It seems no one noticed him except the surveillance cameras. I think the children were delighted to see the gifts and realized they were not forgotten. Know that Santa even visits those who spend the holiday in the hospital. Meeting Santa is every little child's dream. Around the world, children wake up in the middle of the night and run to the tree to catch the kind wizard, or they stay up watching the night sky, snowy rooftops, and yard movements from their bedroom windows. However, Santa's miraculous arrival begins quite differently. One little boy was woken up in the middle of the night by his father. He told him to stay quiet because Santa Claus was in their house. If he wanted to see him before he left, he had to quickly and carefully go down to the living room. When they arrived at the fireplace, they were just in time. The flames were burning high and bright, like a fire show. When the logs burned out, the child noticed some letters in the ash near the fireplace. What do you think was written there? Of course, it was signed Santa. Naturally, he had left the gifts and quickly climbed back up the chimney to the roof. The boy tried to catch any movement in the sky with wide eyes, but Santa had already disappeared into the night. The gifts and treats, however, remained. The boy will remember these magical feelings for a lifetime. He became a witness to a Christmas miracle, and the parents showed remarkable creativity that cost them almost nothing. The key is to use your imagination and not be lazy to bring joy to your children. Now, you will see another example of Santa's endless magic. Two teenagers stayed home alone on Christmas. And although they were too old to receive gifts under the tree, Santa visited them anyway. But he didn't know they had installed a surveillance camera and recorded his movements in the room. First, we see Santa placing gifts under the tree. He fussed around there for a while. Then, as expected, he disappeared without a trace. Just a few minutes after Santa left, the teenagers approached the fireplace and discovered that Santa had forgotten his bag of sweets there. But as soon as one of them tried to touch the bag, it magically disappeared into thin air. Perhaps Santa noticed it was missing and took it back. No matter how much the grown-up kids tried to expose the Christmas miracle, they only received even more magical proof. Have you ever wondered what Santa does on the other days of the year when he isn't delivering gifts, eating cookies, and drinking milk? After all, Christmas Eve is only once a year, and during the rest of the time, Santa must be doing something. Of course, much of this time is spent preparing for Christmas and training the reindeer so they can circle the entire world in one night without fail. In this story, we'll see how the reindeer train by running through frosty forests. Although on the magical night they will have to fly through the air, the training is necessary to make flying feel much easier compared to running on snowy trails. And besides, reindeer need care. After all, they are real, living beings. In addition to Santa Claus and reindeer, there are other characters in Christmas celebrations. Have you ever heard of the gingerbread man? He is also called the gingerbread cookie because, traditionally, this human-shaped treat contains ginger. It became a popular snack during the time of England's Queen Elizabeth I. According to legend, she came up with the idea of baking it. Now it's a traditional activity for homemakers in several countries and a great opportunity for jokes. You're about to see how, in one kitchen, a gingerbread man came to life and started dancing. A mother of two baked the cookies and called her children to see. The boys were stunned when the gingerbread man began to move. The younger child probably decided not to taste the cookie at all. If such miracles have happened in your kitchen too, write to us about it. Have you ever wondered how Santa Claus manages to prepare and deliver millions of Christmas gifts every year? Yes, he doesn't do it alone. Thanks to his helpers, hundreds of Christmas elves, everything is done on time. It is said that the miniature elves help him with making toys and taking care of the reindeer. They try to remain unnoticed, so they are rarely seen, but nevertheless, they have occasionally been caught on camera. In this video from the year 2013, a tiny elf is seen turning on the lights on a Christmas tree and then walking around the room. In another video, a Christmas elf managed to climb through a window, then noticed the camera and briefly looked into the lens. We don't know all the magical backstage details, but we can suspect that a serious professional team is working on the holiday preparations. Christmas traditions differ worldwide, but among them, there are unique and even bizarre customs. In Catalonia, Spain, there is a very peculiar Christmas character called Tío de Nadal. This translates, not very gracefully, as the pooping log or the little uncle log. However, children love the tradition for its whimsical nature. The idea is that a decorated log with a smiling face, a red hat, and 2 legs is placed in the house, covered with a blanket, and fed leftovers from meals. Then, Tío de Nadal poops out presents and sweets as a reward. Children have to take care of the log for several days before Christmas, often praying before meals. Once the treats are found inside, the log is peacefully sent off into the fireplace. Since fireplaces have become rare in modern homes, this quirky tradition is gradually fading away. Besides kind-hearted wizards, Christmas tales also feature dark and menacing characters. Let's start with the Grinch, a green cat-like mischief maker who works against Santa Claus. While Santa hands out gifts, the Grinch steals them from homes. Although fictional, his persona doesn't stop real-life anti-heroes from being caught on camera in the act, such as stealing food and drinks from a convenience store at a gas station. The costume allows them to stay incognito, but you should never trust a Grinch. When store employees see one, they'd better stay alert. Meet another unpleasant character from Christmas legends, Gryla, known in Icelandic folklore as a witch who lives in the mountains. While most people in the West enjoy stories about Santa Claus rewarding good children with gifts, naughty kids on the northern island must answer to Gryla. This legend dates back to the 13th century, and every Christmas she descends from the mountains to gather misbehaving children in a sack and take them home. Her appearance is terrifying. She comes complete with horns, a tail, a massive nose, and sharp teeth, just like any self-respecting ogress. Gryla doesn't live alone either. She has a family with a similarly frightening appearance. As a scare tactic for misbehaving kids, she's highly effective. There are enough naughty children to feed her entire family. If one Santa is enough for good children, then an entire team of witches and monsters is assigned to troublemakers. This just means there are far more naughty kids. Alpine legends include a creepy character named Frau Perchta. She was initially kind, but something in her turned evil, and she grew to hate children, especially lazy ones. Perchta was once feared not only in the Alps, but also in Germany, the Czech Republic, Slovenia, and the Netherlands. There, people believed that at Christmas, the hungry witch hunted children and aimed to slash their bellies open with a knife. To avoid this, it was recommended to eat plenty of fatty food during the holidays to become slippery and escape her attack. As for her looks, she's described as hideous, with a protruding nose and chin, warty skin, and a basket on her back filled with screaming, terrified children. Surely this tale worked wonders on kids who refused to eat their porridge or go to bed on time. In addition to witches, Icelandic Christmas mythology includes other frightening figures. One such is the Yule cat. Have you noticed how almost every culture has a feline anti-hero? In Russian folklore, for instance, there's a mysterious character named Yoshkin Kot, but nobody has ever seen him. Meanwhile, in Iceland, the Yule cat, or Jólakötturinn, is no ordinary feline. It's a black monster the size of a bull, or sometimes even as large as a cloud. This cat preys on children who misbehaved all year long. Good children receive new clothes and toys as rewards, while the bad ones fall victim to the nocturnal hunter. They are destined to spend Christmas in fear, not daring to step outside while others enjoy snowball fights and fireworks. Remember, evil often disguises itself as good or hides in plain sight. If you notice a figure resembling Santa Claus near your Christmas tree, don't rush to embrace it. First, ensure it's the real Santa and not a demon in his costume. Otherwise, the eerie mask may haunt your nightmares. We must understand that Christmas isn't only about kindness and gifts, but also about scary creatures ready to take advantage of our childlike innocence and trust. So, be careful. During this season, there are plenty of imposters, scammers, and wrongdoers dressed as Santa Claus, aiming to frighten or rob you. If you ever saw such a scary Santa sitting by your tree, what would you do? Run away or confront him? Southeastern Europe brings us its own Christmas anti-heroes. The Kalikansaroi are malevolent creatures resembling goblins or demons, used to frighten children in Greece, Turkey, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Albania. These beings appear only between the 25th of December and the 6th of January, precisely between Christmas Eve and the Epiphany. However, you can rest assured they frighten people of all ages. Moreover, they are not lone demons, but an entire pack dwelling underground. They have horse-like legs, grotesque goat heads, and razor-sharp teeth and claws. However, since they spend most of their time underground, their eyesight is as poor as that of moles. Still, they successfully find entry points and can sneak into homes through the same chimney as Santa. Mostly, they love jumping on people's backs, scratching, and tormenting those caught in acts of wrongdoing or infidelity. One way to protect yourself from these Christmas monsters is by burning a shoe in the fireplace. Have you ever heard of Krampus, the demon who seeks out naughty children during Christmas to punish them? He looks almost like the devil, resembling a goat standing on two legs. This character is part of ancient traditions in the Alpine region. He is believed to assist Santa Claus in maintaining order. The well-behaved children are rewarded, while the naughty ones are punished. Krampus captures misbehaving kids, stuffing them into a sack. On December 5th, people in Europe commemorate this tradition by dressing as Krampus and sometimes terrorizing homes and passers-by in the streets. In certain alpine areas, this character is so revered that he is almost preferred over Santa Claus. It seems that all the creepy creatures that come out on Halloween don't hurry to retreat by Christmas. I'm not the only one who dislikes spiders, but beware. What's scarier than an ordinary spider? A Christmas spider. In this video, a spider-like creature dressed in a Santa hat creeps through the city. I don't know who managed to record it on camera, and I strongly suspect that this footage was created using computer animation. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information to debunk it. So for now, we're left with this unsettling image, a giant spider with a red bag crawling purposefully somewhere. If I came across such a scene during Christmas, I would definitely run away as fast as possible, instead of filming it. Snowball fights are great fun when you want to run around with friends. But if you get hit by a snowball in the back from an unknown prankster, it's easy to get annoyed. People are often inattentive on the street. How many times have we walked by, staring at our phones or lost in thought, not paying attention to our surroundings? And here's the reward for such carelessness. A snowman suddenly comes to life and decides to play a trick. It throws a snowball at a passing woman and freezes back in place as if nothing happened. In reality, such a sudden hit could frighten an impressionable person, especially if you check and see no one else on the street. It's a dubious joke, though. Only the mischievous snowman finds it amusing. After all these discussions about myths and monsters, it makes sense to turn to reality and understand that scary stories don't come out of nowhere. Monsters can be people pretending to be fairy tale characters. Someone named John Barton did something terrible on Christmas Eve in the year 2006. On the 18th of December, a family of 4, a couple and their 2 daughters, stopped at a gas station shop. At the same time, a man dressed as Santa Claus, not on a sleigh but riding a motorcycle with a sidecar, also stopped there. While the parents were distracted, he lured one of the girls with a stuffed toy and took her away. Luckily, the parents noticed this. A high-speed chase followed, with the father pursuing the fake Santa and finally stopping him. This 55-year-old man had been dressing as Santa Claus for weeks. riding around with children on his motorcycle. It's chilling to imagine the potential consequences, and this serves as an important lesson for all children and adults. Never agree to go anywhere with a stranger. And finally, we have an optimistic clip. Here's another episode where Santa Claus's sleigh is seen flying through the sky during the day. It was spotted from a train traveling through the magical Swiss landscapes on its way to a ski resort. Before spotting Santa, the person filming was capturing the beautiful curves of the mountainsides. But just a second before the train entered a tunnel, Santa's sleigh, sparkling with lights, flew over it. No one in history has ever seen these sleighs so close. I have no doubt this was an exciting experience. Fortunately, the person managed to capture the miracle on camera. Otherwise, we would have missed this astonishing moment. I hope that after watching all these stories, you are convinced that Santa Claus truly exists. Whether it's broad daylight or the dead of night, he has been spotted by the public far too many times to be a myth. That's how our episode turned out. If you enjoyed it and want to see the next part or something similar, let us know in the comments, give it a like, and subscribe to Top Facts for the most incredible selections of facts and videos from all over the internet. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out the last 2 top episodes.